turning the palms down. Inhale, palms come up. So still lying down. Exhale, just rotating. Press the hands into the floor beside you. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale. Once more, breathing in. Exhale, push the hands into the mat beside you and then slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. You can come to a kneeling position, or if it's available, you can think about taking hero's pose, take the feet out slightly wider. As you exhale, sit back, planting your bottom between your feet. Otherwise, you're going to sit on the feet, sitting nice and tall. However you're sitting, allow the spine to be nice and tall. If you want to, you can use a brick and place it underneath you, or a book, so that you've got that extra height. Turn the backs of the hands so that they're resting on the thighs. Inhale. And then exhale, sighing the breath out, close the eyes. Inhale here. Exhale, finding space in the chest. Inhale, imagine that there's a golden thread pulling up from the crown of the head, disappearing right up into the sky. Exhale, see yourself growing roots. Sitting here nice and tall, feeling the expansion of the chest. Noticing any thoughts that happen to pop into your head, and trying not to dwell on them, allow them to go on their way. As you breathe in, allow any thoughts to come. As you exhale, see yourself clearing those thoughts out. So moving them off to the side. Inhale, working at stilling your thoughts. Exhale, just clearing them away, getting rid of the ones that you don't want. If you want to, you can think about setting an intention for your practice. You could choose to dedicate your practice to somebody else, maybe someone who's not physically with you at the moment. Or you can choose to keep the energy of the practice for yourself. We all need some extra nurturing at the moment. A few more breaths like this. And then on your next exhalation, allowing the eyes to blink open. If you're sitting on a brick or a book, you can move it out of the way. You're going to come to tabletop pose. Making sure that the knees are hip width apart, take time to check your alignment. You should be able to put 2 fists side by side between the knees. Wrists are stacked below elbows, elbows below shoulders. Have the elbows pointing towards each other. Inhale as you dip the spine. And then exhale, rounding back. Push through the shoulders, arch the back. Inhale, rounding forwards. Exhale, rounding back. back, drawing the abdomen back towards the spine. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, rounding back. 2 more times. Inhale to come forwards. Exhale, pushing through the hands, round back. Inhale. Exhale, round back. From here, tuck the toes, walk the hands back to the knees, sit back on the heels, so you're scrunching the toes under, hands come to Anjali Mudra. Deep breath in. Exhale, you can take the hands forwards, come back to tabletop pose. Inhale, dip the spine. Exhale, round back, push into the tops of the feet, raise the knees away. And then slowly lowering the knees down, tuck the toes, walk the hands back, sit back on the heels, Anjali Mudra. Walking the hands forwards, come back to tabletop, push into the tops of the feet. We're going to draw the knees away. Balancing here for a moment. And then exhale, lower knees, tuck toes, walk the hands back, sit back on the toes. And then from here, come back to tabletop. This is our last round. You're going to lift your knees up, push into the tops of the feet, push into the toes. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Walk back. Deep breath in. Exhale, relax the shoulders down, sit nice and tall. And then walk the hands forwards. Keep the toes tucked and be ready on your next inhalation. You're going to lift up, downward facing dog. Push back through the hips, push through the heels, working at creating that inverted V shape with the body. So thinking about taking the weight back towards the hips. So as an exercise, what you can do is tip forward on the toes, take the weight towards the hands for a moment, and then exhale, draw back, pushing into the heels, and notice the difference of pulling the hips back. You can begin to pedal the feet here, working nice and slow. Work with your slowest breath. Pushing into the heel each time, feeling yourself stretching out your hamstrings. Maybe there's a bit of sway in your hips as you do this. And then push down through the heels, take a static downward facing dog, holding for 2 breaths. Take the gaze forward, spread the hands a little wider apart. Come up onto the tiptoes, slowly tiptoe forward, or any way you get to the front of your mat is absolutely fine. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to, get that contact between your chest and your thighs. Allow the head to hang heavy, and if you want to, you can take a hold of the elbows. And then grounding down through the feet, lift up, using the abdomen to engage, drawing all the way up. Allow the hands to come out to the side. Palms meet overhead. Exhale, draw your hands down. So getting ready to come to Surya Namaskara C, Sun Salutation C. Big toes touching, slight space between the ankles, or whatever you can do to make sure that the sides of your feet are exactly parallel to the sides of your mat. Soften the knees a little so that you're not hyperextending the knees, and then inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, draw the arms alongside the ears, open up the front of the body. Exhale, we're going to go straight down. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, we're going to step back with the right foot, lower the right knee. Gaze goes forward, so just staying in a low lunge for the moment. Exhale. Inhale, plant the hands. Exhale, step back plank. Or modified plank with the knees down. Inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees, your chest and your chin nice and slow. Inhale as you push into the hands, lift the chest slightly, roll the shoulders back, cobra pose. Tops of feet are in contact with your mat. Tuck your toes, push back through child's pose, and then see if without shifting the weight forward, keeping the hands where they are, you can straighten the legs, coming to downward facing dog. Staying for 4 more breaths. Take the gaze forward between the hands. However it gets there, you're going to step the right foot forward. If you can do it by keeping the palms still connected with your mat, do so. Exhale, lower the left knee. Inhale, this time we're going to draw up, take a hold of the elbows, draw back in the hips. If you feel like you want more of a stretch here, rather than lunging forwards, shuffle the foot forward a little so that you've got a wider stance, and then dip. Exhale, flow your hands down. You might need to bring the foot back a little if you stepped it forward. Inhale, lift the left knee. Draw back in the hips, step forward, left foot meets right. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pushing down into your feet. Draw all the way up, palms meet overhead. Exhale. Hands to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, draw the arms alongside the ears as you get a nice back bend here. It doesn't have to be overly pronounced, it's quite early still. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, flow down. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, step back with the left foot, lower the left knee. Stay in your lunge position. And then plant the hands, step back plank. Holding for 1 solid breath here. Inhale, push into the hands. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. You're going to soften the belly all the way down. Take the hands alongside the body. Push the tops of the hands into your mat, so fingers reaching down towards the toes. Inhale, lifting up for Shalabhasana, but keep the hands down. So lift the chest, lift the legs, but keep your hands pushing into your mat. Inhale, coming a little higher. And then exhale, release all the way down. Hands come back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Draw up to tabletop and then downward facing dog. Holding for 5 breaths. Take the gaze forward, so you're going to step the left foot forward. If you can, keep the palms connected with your mat. If you can't, don't worry. Exhale, release the right knee down. Inhale, draw up, take a hold of the elbows. So draw the arms back. So you're feeling like the forearm, not the forearms, the upper arms are drawing alongside the ears. And then exhale, flow the hand down. Raising the right knee, draw back in the hip, step forward, right foot meets left. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, folding down. Step the feet slightly wider apart, so heel toeing the feet out. Take a hold of the elbows, allow the head to hang, and if you feel like you want to sway in the hips, you can. So I'm enjoying taking a bend in one knee and then the other as I really allow myself to sway left and right. And then coming back to center, heel toe the feet back together, place the hands down towards your mat if you can. Root down through the feet, inhale, lifting up, use your core to come all the way up. Palms meet. Exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra. So taking a moment to ground down through the feet, allow the hands to just rest beside you. Feel as though there's a weight in the hands drawing them down. And as that happens, the neck opens, so the collarbone opens, the shoulders relax. The head feels as though it's just floating on top of the neck. Remind yourself of your intention for your practice. And then bringing your awareness back to your yoga practice. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, flowing straight down, coming to Surya Namaskar at A, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, step back, plank pose. You can take modified plank, lowering the knees. Inhale, we're holding plank for 2 more breaths. Exhale, lower the knees whenever you want to. Inhale. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Keep the elbows in close to the ribs. Inhale, we're going to push through, still coming to Cobra. So draw the elbows back, soften the shoulders, soften the neck, tuck the toes, push back seat to heels. And then from there, push up to downward facing dog. Stay in downward facing dog for 5 breaths. If you feel that you want to lower the knees and take puppy pose, you can. And then take the gaze forwards. You can step, walk or jump to the front of the mat if you want to. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, folding nice and slow. Bend the knees again as much as you need to. And then inhale, reaching out, ground down through the feet. Engage the abdomen again as you come up. Palms meet overhead. Exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra. We're going to take half of a sun salutation now. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, flowing down. Inhale, look up to flat back. Exhale, step back plank. Holding plank for 3 breaths. Lowering the knees whenever you want to. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Push through to a cobra pose, maybe a little higher this time. Tuck the toes, draw back seat to heels. And then push up, downward facing dog. holding for 3 breaths. Inhale, raise the right leg up towards the ceiling, and then take a moment to square the hips. Push through the heel of the foot. And then exhale, draw the knee towards the chest, come onto the tiptoes of the left foot as you step the right foot forward. Stay on the toes of the left foot. As you breathe in, engaging your abdomen, you're going to take the hands behind you, coming up. And then stretch the hands up towards the ceiling. Keep a bend in the right knee. Make sure you can see the right big toe just creeping out. Exhale, flow the hands down. Interlace the fingers behind you. And then step the back foot in a little. As you do that, bring the left heel down and make sure that the left foot's at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, take the chest forwards. Exhale, lowering down for humble warrior. Allow the hands to come back behind you. If this feels uncomfortable in your shoulders, instead of interlacing the hands, you can take a hold of the forearms. So you're still taking the hands behind you, but it's not as intense in the shoulders. 3 more breaths here. As you exhale, push into the outer edge of the left foot. Continue to ground down in the right foot. 1 more breath here. And then inhale, drawing back up. Stretch the hands back up. Sink down into the right knee. Exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra. Come onto the tiptoes of the left foot. As you're going to stretch down, bring the hands down to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, bring the knees down. Walk the hands forwards. Anahatasana, puppy pose, or melting heart pose. Either have your forehead resting on your mat, or if you want to, you can rest your chin, depending on how flexible you feel in your spine. Walk the hands back so you come to tabletop. And then stretch back. We're going to take child's pose. Reach the hands forwards again. Rest your forehead either down on your mat or on a brick or a book. Let's take a few more breaths here. Back a little, push up to come to tabletop pose, tuck the toes, and then draw the hips back up, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left leg up towards the ceiling. Square the hips. Pushing into the hands. You're going to think about drawing the knee in to the chest as you come onto the tiptoes of the right foot. Step the left foot through. Stay on the right tiptoes, but push down on the right heel so you engage that leg first, and then sweep the hands back as you lift the chest up. stand nice and tall, really strong here, and then inhale, stretch the hands up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, draw the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Step the back foot in a little and then lower the right heel. Keep a bend in the left knee and still make sure you can see the left big toe creeping out. Inhale, and then exhale, folding down for Humble Warrior. Allow the hands to come up behind you, or again, if you want to, you can take a hold of the forearms as you lower. Also, if that doesn't feel comfortable, you can have your hands on your hips as you lower down. Holding for 2 more breaths. And then ground down through the feet. Inhale, drawing back up. Release your hands. On the next inhalation, draw the hands back up, nice and strong. Come onto the toes of the right foot as you pivot the foot forward. And then exhale, hands come down. Step back, downward facing dog. From the shelter of my mind, through the window of my eyes, I gave 2 more breaths in. To England, where my heart lies. And then come right up onto the tiptoes, slowly, slowly tiptoe your way all the way to the front of the mat, engaging your abdomen as you do. Come onto the fingertips once you reach the top. Come right up onto the tiptoes. And then exhale, allow the heels to rest down. Take a nice forward fold. And then relax your neck. Now, I say relax your neck, and I know that for everyone that doesn't necessarily come as an easy thing to do. If you still feel like you're holding tension, actually take the hands onto the neck. Have the thumbs pointing towards the shoulders as you then pull down with your hands like a really soft, gentle touch as though you're stretching the neck, making it a little longer. Ground down through the feet, inhale, coming all the way up. Hands meet overhead. Exhale, hands to your Anjali Mudra. And then rest your hands beside you as you come to Tadasana. Remind yourself of your intention. Find your breath. Allow your breath to anchor you. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reach the hands forwards. Exhale, sit down into chair pose. Deep breath in, exhale, sweep the hands back, hover the chest away from the thighs. Inhale, reach the hands forwards and then stand all the way back up. Exhale, sitting down, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands back, hover the chest away from the thighs. Inhale, reach the hands back up. Inhale, sit down, chair. Exhale, sweep the hands back. Inhale, stretch the hands back up, standing nice and tall. Exhale here. Inhale, sit down, chair. Exhale, sweep the hands back, engage the legs, push the feet into your mat. Inhale, come up, really engaging your legs, and then stand tall. Last one. Exhale here. Inhale, sit down chair. Exhale, sweeping the hands back. Holding. Inhale, coming back up. Really slowly, I can feel my thighs trembling here, coming all the way back up. Exhale, release your hands. If you have a yoga brick, fantastic. If you're using a book, have your book at the ready now. I'd like you to have it on its highest setting in front of you just for the moment. You're going to move it once you flow down. Inhale, stretch the hands up. Exhale, sit down chair. Take a hold of your brick in your right hand and then move it over to the left side. Left hand can come to your left hip, or you can open the left hand up towards the ceiling. Your drishti is either going to be down towards your mat, at a neutral point straight ahead of you, or up towards your left hand. Push into your feet. We're staying for another 4 breaths. So, revolved chair pose is going to help you release any stiffness in the neck, the shoulders and the spine. Although it may not feel like it now. Turn the gaze down towards your mat. Flow the hand down, move your brick into the central point. Inhale, stretch your hands forwards, come back to chair. And then exhale, lowering the left hand, move the brick over to the right side. Right hand comes to right hip. As you twist your body to the right, grounding down through your heels. And then if you want to, you can extend the right arm up. Your drishti again is either down towards your mat, out to the side, or up towards your extended hand. Holding for 3 more breaths. Exhale, releasing your hand. Bring the brick back to central. Inhale, come back to chair pose. Exhale, stand nice and tall. Move your brick to one side. You're going to come back to a sun salutation and take it nice and slow. Big toes touching again, sides of feet parallel to the sides of the mat. Inhale, reaching the hands up. Exhale, flowing straight down. Inhale, look up to the flat back. Come onto the fingertips or place the hands on the shins. Lower the hands back down, step back plank. And then lower your knees, your chest and your chin, very slowly. Coming all the way down. Inhale, coming to cobra. Exhale, low. Inhale, take the hands out to the side. Push back up to cobra. Lift the chest away. Exhale, low. Take the hands almost to cactus arms now, so the hands are pushing either side of your mat. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, here. Inhale. Exhale, flowing all the way down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Last one, inhale. Cobra, softening the shoulders. Exhale, releasing down, tuck the toes. Push up as you come back to child's pose. And then lift up, downward facing dog. Take the gaze forward. forward between the hands and step or shuffle the right foot forward. Spin the heel of the left foot. Keep a bend in the right knee as you inhale, open up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So checking your alignment, make sure you can see your right big toe creeping out. You're either looking for a heel-to-heel alignment with the front and back foot, or heel to arch if you're open in the hips. Inhale, we're going to reverse the warrior. Left hand comes to back of left leg. Take the gaze down towards the left foot. Make sure you've still got a bend in the right knee. Exhale, open the hands out. Inhale. Exhale, lower right forearm onto right thigh. Inhale, sweeping the left hand forwards. Gaze goes towards the left hand. Exhale, opening back out, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. So we're going to make it dance. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale here. Exhale, lower right forearm onto right thigh. And then inhale, stretching the hands up. Exhale, opening out. This is the last one on this side. Reverse your warrior. And then flow back, Virabhadrasana 2. Releasing right forearm onto right thigh. Inhale, stretching the hands forwards. Exhale, open out Warrior 2, holding for 3 breaths. Is that a good place for you? No. One long, powerful breath here. And then windmill the hands forwards, frame the front foot, step back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, feeling the stretch. Allow the hips to pull back. And then you're going to step the left foot to the front of the mat. Turn the right foot so the right heel comes down. Get a bend in the left leg. And then inhale, open out, Warrior 2. So checking your stance again. I'm probably a little wider than I'd like to be here, but I've got a canine buddy that's just come and lay down on the mat. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, come back, Warrior 2. Lower left forearm to left thigh. Inhale, sweep the right hand forward. Exhale, open out Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the left forearm. Inhale, sweep the right hand forward. Exhale, opening out. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Reverse and stretching forward, side angle. Inhale, opening out. We might be doing one more on this side. Reverse your warrior. Exhale. Lower left forearm onto left thigh. Stretch the right hand forwards. And then come back to Warrior 2. Holding for 2 more breaths. And then you're going to windmill the hands forward, step back to downward facing dog. Exhale as you lower your knees, coming to child's pose. So allow yourself to relax. Take any weight out of your head. Two more breaths here. And then getting ready to tuck the toes as you come back to downward facing dog. Take the gaze forwards between your hands. Step your right foot forward. Spin the heel of the left foot. Inhale as you're coming up. You're going to keep the right leg straight. Getting ready to come into triangle pose. Take the left hand to the left hip. Right arm comes up at shoulder height. Deep breath in. As you exhale, reach forwards. Lower the hand to somewhere on the right leg, wherever's comfortable for you. Notice if your knee is overextending like mine. And if that's the case, you can use your brick or your book to place behind the right calf. When you're comfortable, you can extend the left hand up towards the ceiling. Holding for 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come back up. Turn the toes out to the wide side of the mat. Hands come to hips. Inhale. Exhale, folding forwards. Your hands come down to the floor. You can allow the palms to rest on the floor. Otherwise, you can use a brick or books in front of you for support. As you exhale, fold, taking the weight towards the toes so that you're not hinging too far back in the heels. Feeling that delicious stretch up the back of the legs. And then inhale, pushing into the hands, you're going to hinge up at the waist. So still keeping a wide stance, interlace the hands behind you. Deep breath in. Exhale, folding down. Allow the hands to draw up towards the head. Feeling that stretch in the shoulders. As with all of these stretches, if you want to take hold of the forearms instead, so that you're not having as intense a stretch in the shoulders, you can. Tip the weight forward towards the toes a little. One more breath here. And then inhale, pushing into the feet, hinge all the way up. Turn the left toes to the back of the mat. Right foot's going to be at a 45-degree angle. Right hand comes to right hip. Left hand comes up at shoulder height. Inhale, reaching forwards. Exhale, lowering the back of the left hand to the left leg. As you do that, pull back in the right shoulder, so you're opening the chest out to the right. And then, if you can, inhale, stretch the right hand up towards the ceiling. Really engage your core muscles. Push down into the feet. And then grounding down into the feet. Inhale, draw up. Turn the toes out to the wide side of the mat. Hands come to hips. Inhale, exhale, hinging forwards. Taking a wide leg forward fold. Maybe you come down a little deeper this time. Maybe you want to take the feet slightly further apart. It's up to you. And then inhale, pushing up to a flat back. Ground down into the feet. Hands come to your hips as you come up. Going to interlace the hands behind you again. This time it's the other hand on top, so there's always a dominant hand. This is going to be the awkward way of clasping your hands together. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold in. Once more, allow the hands to draw up towards the head. Tip the weight forward in the toes. And then ground down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Nice and tall. Release the hands. Turn the right toes towards the front of the mat. Left foot's at a 45-degree angle. Find a bend in the right knee. And then bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. You're going to turn now and come onto the toes of the left foot. So we're in a high lunge position. Inhale here, exhale, twist to the right side. If you want to, you can think about hooking the left elbow against the right knee. Push through the palms of the hands. Create one column with the forearms. And as you do, push into the hands and see if you can draw the abdomen away from the thighs. So you're creating space for the breath. Holding for 4 breaths. And then inhale, come back to center. This is a tricky bit. Draw the chest away from the thigh. In a step forward, left foot meets right. Stand at the front of the mat. Step back with the right foot. So you're on the toes of the right foot. You've got a bend in the left knee. Inhale, hands come to Anjali Mudra. Exhale, twist to the left side. So try the twist out for size first. And then if you feel comfortable, you can lower the right elbow to the left knee, push through the palms of the hands, and as you do so, turn the gaze towards the left shoulder and simultaneously draw the abdomen away from the left thigh. Engage the right leg by pushing through the heel. So you're not trying to get connection between the heel and your mat, but it's just going to help you to switch that leg on. And then inhale, come back to center, lift the chest away from the thigh. Exhale, lower the hands down. In a step back to plank pose. 2 breaths here. Inhale, pushing into the hands. Sometimes I find it quite useful to think of myself as rounding through the shoulders here, which stops me from dipping my spine. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. And then soften the belly all the way down to your mat. Draw the hands alongside the body, hands are reaching towards the toes. Keeping the tops of the hands pressing into the mat, be ready to lift up for Shalabhasana. Inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the feet. Holding for 4 more breaths. If you're doing this at home, and we're working with different floor types, if you're doing it on carpet, this might feel fairly comfortable for you. If you're doing it on a hard floor, it could be really uncomfortable underneath the pubic bone, in which case that's where your cushion or your blanket comes into play. Deep breath, go as high as you possibly can do. And then exhale, release all the way down. So I'm going to take half O pose, a half Dhanurasana. See how we get here. So this may be where your bathrobe belt comes into play. So coming to Sphinx pose first, come onto the forearms. Bring the right forearm in towards the center of the mat. I'm going to work with the left side first. Bend the left knee. And then see if you can reach back with the right hand, and you want your thumb to be pointing up as though you were hitchhiking towards the ceiling. Grab a hold of the left ankle. So rather than grabbing onto the top of the foot, you're going to see if you can grab onto the ankle and allow the finger, the thumb, to track up. If that is not within reach this morning, you can use a strap. And you're going to hook the strap around the ankle so that you can reach back, thumb still pointing up, and draw the leg towards you. If you've been able to take half Dhanurasana, you can now soften the belly down a little and see if you can extend the right hand in front of you, and maybe the left leg straight lifts away from your mat. Hold in for 2 more breaths. Inhale, come really high. Exhale, release. Bring the left arm forward, come back to Sphinx pose. Allow the left leg to drop. So working with the right side. Bring the left forearm in towards the center of the mat. It just gives you a bit of space to be able to turn towards the right. Bend the right knee. You're going to look over your right shoulder, see if you can reach back with the right hand. Right thumb is pointing up towards the ceiling. So you can stay here, or exhale, soften the chest, reach the left hand forwards, and then inhale, raising the right hand, the left hand in front of you, left leg behind you, stretching through with your bent right leg. Holding for 2 breaths. Deep breath in, come as high as you can. Exhale, release. So seeing how you were there. If it's available to you now, you're going to draw the right foot up and the left foot up. See if you can reach back with one hand for one foot first, and then the other. So instead of holding onto the outer edge of the feet, you're holding onto the ankles. In this way, you're going to think about the feet pushing up into the ceiling rather than pointing the toes towards the ceiling. Inhale, reaching up. Draw the chest away. Exhale. Inhale, come really tall. Exhale, release. Allow the forehead to rest in the center of your mat. Create some space between the knees. Bend the knees, have the feet up, and then exhale, windmill the feet to one side like windshield wipers, and then over to the other side. Come back, one side, and then the other side. So coming back to center one last time. This time, instead of taking hold of the inside of the ankles, we're going to take hold of the outer edge of the ankles. Bending the knees. Reach back with one hand, take a hold of the outer edge of the foot or the ankle, same on the other side. Inhale, stretching nice and tall. Draw the chest away from the mat, draw the knees away from the mat. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale. One more, come nice and tall. Exhale, release, allow the center of your head to rest in your mat. Bend the knees again. And windshield wiper the feet from one side to the other. For me, it's really nice because of the way that your cameras are all positioned. All I can just see every now and again is just little feet coming up and then working to the other side. And pausing, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, push yourself back up to tabletop pose, and then walk the hands back towards the knees so that you're kneeling. So as our last big pose, we're going to come to camel pose. Sitting back on the heels, as we did at the beginning of the class, I've got my toes tucked. So nice and tall, and then kneeling up. Bring the hands or the fist to the base of the spine and just work at pushing the fists or massaging into the base of the spine to begin with. Notice if you've got any tension or kinks that you want to work out, so do that first. And then inhale, take the gaze up, just a little dip back. And then slowly drawing back up. Going to do the same thing, push into the toes at the same time, do a counter push into the base of the spine with your fists, taking a back bend, So you're engaging your core as you do this. And I like to do this first because it means that when we go into camel pose, you're still going to engage your core rather than stacking into the spine. And then coming back up. So keeping the fists where they are, gaze is going over the left shoulder. Inhale first, exhale, reaching back. See if you can take one hand down towards the left heel, and then maybe the right hand comes down towards the right heel. Inhale, pulling up as though someone's got a rope tied around your waist and they're pulling you forwards. One more breath in. And then calming up, engage the core as you come up. Once more, bring the fist to the base of the spine. We're going to take it one more time. Deep breath in. Exhale, going back. This time look over the right shoulder, reach down towards the right heel. And then the left. Inhale, draw the chest forwards. Maybe you can drop the head back. I'm not doing that because I know that I can't talk and do that. So feeling that lovely stretch. And then on the inhalation, slowly draw back up. Engage the core. Untuck the toes. Take the knees slightly wider. Hands come to your Anjali Mudra. Exhale, sit down. Stretch the hands forwards. And then make a pillow with the hands and come to a variation of child's pose. So allow your spine to melt down towards your mat. Take a deep breath in and then turn your face the other way. Push your hands into your mat, walk the hands back towards the knees, sit tall, cross the ankles so that you can take the hands behind you as you then extend the legs forwards. Going to come down onto your mat, we're going to do a gentle twist side to side and then come into Shavasana. So do make sure that you have everything to hand that you like for Shavasana. So coming down onto the back, first draw both knees into the chest and just massage the spine left and right. And then from there, keep the hands on the left knee, extend the right leg down. Move the left hand to the left hip, right hand stays on the knee, deep breath in, exhale. Drawing the left knee over towards the right side. Keep your shoulders connected with your mat as you do this. And then if you can extend the left hand at shoulder height or just below shoulder height, taking the gaze towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. Draw the right knee into the chest, hug both knees in again, massage the spine left to right. And then extend the left leg out. Keep your left hand on your right knee, right hand moves to your right hip. Inhale first, exhale, draw the right knee over to the left. Keep the shoulders connected with your mat. And then you can turn your gaze towards the right. Maybe extend the right hand at shoulder height or just below shoulder height. And then inhale, come back to center, hug both knees in again. And then extend the right leg and the left leg and find as comfortable a position in Shavasana as you can. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, sigh the breath away. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, I'd like you to imagine that you're completely shrouded by a beautiful mist. You can hear birds chirping in the trees, and it's very early. There's a crispness in the air that lets you know that you're awake long before anyone else. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, the mist begins to disappear, and in its place, you find yourself sitting on a beautiful beach. The kind of beach that you'd find in Wales, on the Gower, the kind that has gorgeous mud flats and sand dunes with long grass, completely isolated. It's a glorious sunny day. You feel warm and happy. You look out at the horizon and you can see birds ahead. There's not a cloud in the sky. And the sunlight's reflected on the still surface of the ocean. All at once you feel as though you are the biggest thing in your world, and at the same time the smallest. As you sit on the beach listening to the waves rolling against the shore, you feel calm. You can smell the sea foam. And you begin to walk down the beach. As you walk, you make footprints in the sand. And behind you, the waves rush up against the shore, and they disappear. With every breath that you take, you feel as though you can smell the ocean. You can feel the salt on your skin. Begin to deepen your breath now, breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once more, breathing in and exhaling like that. And then soften your breath. I'm going to read you a poem by Shelley now. Away, away from men and towns, to the wild wood and the downs, to the silent wilderness, where the soul need not repress its music lest it should not find an echo in another's mind, while the touch of nature's art harmonizes heart to heart. Bring a little movement back into your hands and your toes. And then waiting for your next exhalation, roll to the right side. Just pausing here. And then use your left hand to push into the ground to bring yourself up to a seated position. Come to sit in any way that feels comfortable for you. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra, to prayer position in front of the heart. Either close the eyes or take a soft gaze. Remind yourself of your intention for your practice and say it to yourself 3 times now. And then lightly touch your thumbs to your lips and thank yourself for this time. And then bowing your head. Namaste.